tonight. Joining us right now to talk about this year's governor's race, Republican incumbent Rick Snyder and Democratic challenger Mark Schauer.
Well, thank you both for being with us. Right now, we're going to begin with Governor Snyder. Again, thanks for taking the time to be with us, Governor. Let's ask you about the surprising results that the race is so close at this point. Are you surprised?
Well, what I'd say, Carolyn, is I'm proud of my record, and I'm confident in the voters' decision tonight that I'll keep going for 4 more years. We've come so far over the last 4 years. Just compare Michigan today to 2010 and 2009, and we want to keep moving forward, and I believe Michiganders want the same thing. Let's keep going.
Does it frustrate you, Governor, that, as you say, things have improved? Detroit has gotten better through bankruptcy. The state is stronger. You got a lot of money in the budget. Does it frustrate you that people are still trying to throw you out of office?
Well, the disappointing part, Stephen, are the lies on television in terms of those ads, talking about cutting education funding when, in fact, I've increased it by over $1 billion. That makes it difficult when our citizens are essentially being lied to, and the way I view it is I'm a very positive person, so I've run a positive campaign. I stay focused on solutions and common sense answers to make Michigan better.
Governor, that's certainly been a biggie issue for both you and Mark Schauer this election. I mean, it depends on what you read. I mean, of course, you say you increased the education funding by $1 billion. Some people say you decreased it, but I mean, you can read so many different things and read into it what you want, wouldn't you say?
No, actually, I would say the facts are clear. And you can go to the Free Press, the Lansing State Journal, the AP. They've all verified what I've said because they're facts. They're not claims. The year before I took office, we spent $10.6 billion on K-12 education. The budget I just signed was $11.7 billion. The 3 years in between, it was over $1.1 billion cumulative increase. And I'm a CPA, but you don't need to be a CPA to see that's a big increase. So
are you basically calling Schauer a liar then, because he has ads, then you have ads, and you've been going back and forth, and you both say the opposite thing?
Well, I'm a positive person, but what the representation is a lie.
Cutting tax breaks on the seniors, repealing the right to work, anything you've regretted over the last 4 years, or are you standing by all these decisions still?
No, well, Stephen, if you look at right to work was a good thing in terms of standing up for hard-working Michiganders, in terms of helping them be successful, and it's bringing jobs to Michigan with more companies. Now, the whole senior thing is, in fact, we put an exemption in for seniors and made a fair tax system. So it's not just people that had a certain kind of income. We're actually helping working seniors that otherwise were paying Michigan income tax, and we're treating everybody the same with the same $40,000 exemption.
But a lot of people think, and of course this has been another big issue, a lot of people think that there have been so many tax breaks for big business here in Michigan, and it's been on the backs of pensioners and seniors, and they really didn't like the tax hits on them. I mean, did that hurt your campaign at all?
Well, again, Carolyn, if very much of what you're seeing on the ads are sound bites. And these were long-term solutions to help Michiganders be more successful. And we're seeing the job creation happen. Home values are coming up in the state of Michigan. Young people are staying, and we're starting to get young people back in Michigan. And isn't that what we all want, is to keep our kids here and have them have a great future? And so we've made some structural changes to make us stronger and better, not just for today, but for decades to come.
Well, it's been a long campaign, and it's going to be a long night. So we appreciate you joining us at this last minute. And good luck to you, Governor Snyder, tonight.
All right, let's check in now with the governor's.
It's great to be with you.
Thank you, Governor. Let's check in with the governor's Democratic challenger, Mark Schauer, joining us live. And right now, I'm hearing the absentee ballots, Mr. Schauer, really helping you out. What was with that? How did you get that vote out?
Well, I think people are ready for change. Look, Rick Snyder's policies work well for you if you're wealthy or a big corporation or a special interest, but if you're a student or a teacher or parent or retiree, his policies aren't working for you. They're not going to. People are ready for change. They demonstrated that with their absentee ballots and with a strong turnout at the polls today.
Mr. Schauer, we asked the governor this question because you guys have gone round and round over the increase in spending for schools or the $1 billion in cuts to school funding, depending on how you analyze the number and who's doing the fact checking. He basically said there have been so many lies around this issue. What do you say to that?
Well, our current governor's an accountant that knows every accounting gimmick in the book. The facts are clear. Our students have fewer dollars in the classroom before Rick Snyder took office. Kids are learning in more crowded classrooms. We have fewer teachers. I talked to a parent yesterday whose student doesn't have a librarian in their school anymore. That's what's happening in public education today. Look, public education will be my number one priority, will be my number one budget priority, the key to a good job in Michigan is a good education.
Mr. Schauer, you say voters are ready for a change. You'll remember back 4 years ago, voters were ready for a change then also. The deficit was huge in Michigan. Jobs were nowhere to be seen. And yet things have changed. I mean, the budget is, we've got a lot of surplus money. Unemployment has dropped in Michigan. Why do we want to change from that? What can you offer that's better than that?
Well, as a result of Rick Snyder's $1.8 billion corporate tax cut, his cuts to public education, tax increases on retirees and working families, we have one of the worst unemployment rates in the country. I was there in Congress when it counted for the auto industry. We still have an auto industry because I was there to fight for it. Our current governor said the auto rescue was overblown. The bright spot in Michigan's economy is that we still have an auto industry and those companies are coming back. His policies have made it worse for Michigan. Michigan is one of the few states that hasn't recovered all the jobs lost in the Great Recession. We need to build our economy from the bottom up and the middle out. That's why I'll provide tax breaks to working families, and I'll end the Snyder job-killing pension tax to get Michigan's economy going for everyone, not just for those at the top.
Mr. Schauer, if voters here in Michigan put you in office right now, how would you end the gridlock in Washington? I mean, people are unhappy with the Republican Party. They're unhappy with the Democratic Party. They're unhappy with the president. What are you going to do to make a difference if you're in office?
Right. Well, I was first elected to the legislature 18 years ago before term limits hit Lansing. The culture was different then. It was a time before Democrats and Republicans were genetically predisposed to dislike each other, disagree with each other. So I'm going to be a part of changing that political culture. We've seen the CEO experiment for 4 years, and he hasn't been able to connect with the legislature, even of his own party. Tomorrow, I will begin reaching out to legislative leaders to build bipartisan relationships that it's going to take to fix our roads, to improve our schools, to reverse the Snyder job-killing pension tax. That work starts tomorrow.
All right, Mark Schauer, Democrat for governor, we appreciate your time tonight. Good luck to you tonight. It's going to be a long night. We'll be with you the whole way.
Well, tonight we are